Hey, it's Rick in the Shed. How you guys doing today? I'm going to be working on a vermicompost bin here. So what I've done is I went to your local crappy tire, bought bought 3 buckets and a lid, and we're gonna start assembling ourselves a vermicompost bin here, where we're going to drill holes in the bottom of 2 of the buckets. And then we're going to leave the bottom bucket to catch the worm juice. And that worm juice we're going to use, dilute 1 to 10 parts. 1 part of juice to 10 parts of water. We're going to use that to water our plants during the winter and all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to make ourselves, it's going to compost it. We're going to throw in some worms. We're going to throw in some red wigglers and stuff like that. We have some left over from some of our bags of growers and smokers Canna Blend Super Soil. We've got some straggler worms in there, and we also have some from our worm guys. So we're going to now, this is how we're going to do this. We're going to take a drill bit to 3/16 drill bit, and we're going to drill a whole bunch of holes on this lid here. Then we're going to drill a whole bunch of holes in the bottom of this bucket, and then we're also going to drill some holes along the top edge here to let the air get in. And this is going to provide a little bit of a gap, a stop gap here from this to this for our compost and our worm bins, good 3-4 inches. We can raise that a little bit higher by putting something underneath, but we want to have some ventilator holes here so everything can vent. And we're going to sit there and we're going to grow some worms, and we're going to make some compost, and we're going to make some healthy stuff for our plants to eat. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to make our own at-home fertilizer with all our compost. So we're going to take our lid here, and you can probably see here, we're going to drill a whole bunch of holes. So let's do it about 1 inch apart. And we're going to take the top here. I'm going to drill some holes on the side here so we can have a relief. But yeah, we're going to drill them right here. There we go, and we got the edges done. So we're going to do that with the second bucket, and then we're going to drill all the holes in the bottom. Right? So now, and there it is, and here's our sampling of what we've done for the bottom of the bucket. As you can see here, we've done them about 1 inch apart roughly, right, just to make a bunch of holes. There's one of our buckets. Now we're going to do a second one. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to drill the side holes here to vent them. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a razor blade, and we're going to cut all these little bumps off there, just because I don't want them on there, and it'll make these all nice and smooth. I'm going to cut all the bumps off here, clean that all up nice, and that'll be it. And then so it's going to stack. Oh, I just want to stack inside each other because I have those built-in air holes. Oh, I didn't put in air holes on the bottom one because we want to put air in there. That's why it was now easy to take out. Now we're going to do the same thing here. Add some air holes there. There it is, boys and girls. We got all the holes drilled. And that's it. That's going to be our composting bin. So we're going to take the first bucket, and we're going to line it with with newspaper on the inside of the bottom here. We're going to throw a little bit of worm castings that we already have from a bag that we have, and it's got some worms in it. We're going to throw some of those worms in there, and then we're going to start putting our compost in there. And then every so often, once this is all done, we're going to fill that up. Then we're going to stack the other bucket on top of here like this. And then we're going to put some newspaper in here, throw some veggies. And the worms, once they finish eating the bottom part there, they'll start moving up to the second part. Now you take it out. And then in this second bucket, you're going to have a whole bunch of compost ready to go. And then in the bottom bucket, you're going to have some worm juice to water your plants with. And again, we're going to dilute that worm juice 10-to-1 ratio. And we're going to be all good. Don't forget to put eggshells, all sorts of fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. Try to not put any meats or any meats or any proteins or stuff like that in there. And meats and proteins and stuff like that, and keep it clean. And there you go. You can also drill a hole, put a tap on here, and then tap off instead of having to lift everything off. You can sit this up on a table or something, and then put a tap on here, and then tap off all your juices and put them into a cup, and mix them up with your watering, and toss them in with your plants, and grow some healthy plants. You can use this for all your plants. Don't forget to throw some bananas in there, some calcium, some eggshells, stuff like that. Let them all break it down. And there you go. You have your own composting worm bin farm. And yeah, your worms should multiply every 90 days. You should double up. Your worms will double up every 90 days. And you can either start your own business or just save yourself a shit ton of money by using your leftover scraps to feed your plants, to feed you at the end of the day. You guys have yourselves a great day. It's Rick in the shed. We're making a vermicompost bin. Stay tuned. We'll post some more videos. Take care. Bye. Hey, it's Rick in the shed. We got this is our second layer. See, I got some vent holes. I'm going to drill another set of vent holes a little bit lower. So this is our final assembly. So here's our lid. There's one layer, there's a second layer. But see how tight this second layer is? It's really tight up against here, so it's not getting proper airflow. So I'm going to punch a couple more a little bit lower down. And see how that goes. But I wanted to take a minute here and show you what I've put in here. Like, I just happened to have some scraps from camping and brought a watermelon home because we had so many. Opened it up and it was quite crappy. So I decided to put it in here. So we've tossed in our watermelon there. And then I had some peanut shells. I had some peanuts the other day. There you can see some leftover stuff from a grow. After I finish taking all the THC off, I end up taking all the crumbs of the cannabis plants and putting it in here to decompose. So we're throwing in those same nutrients, and it's vermicompost. We've got some worms in there that are kind of doing their thing. I'm wondering if I don't like digging my hand in here. And so I got some peppers in there, some red peppers, green peppers. There's other sorts of veggies in here. See that? And that's all gonna break down, and the worms are gonna munch away. I'm hopefully not doing this wrong. I decided just to toss a bunch of stuff in there, lined the bottom with paper, and threw a little bit of the organic soil that we had from the Super Soil Growers and Smokers Super Soil kind of blend. Tossed a handful of that in there. That's what's in here right now, with some leftover banana tree leaves from a banana tree that I got outside. And yeah, putting them all in the buckets, and then these are going to layer upon layer on each other, and we're going to keep on composting this. I'm going to keep dry for now, and then I'll put in some moisture later. But this here is my compost bin. So there you go. And then underneath, let's see if I can do this with one hand. There we go. Pull this up. And you might see, and there's some juice and there's some worms. You can see some worms that have crawled through the bucket, so we'll probably pick those guys back out and throw them back in. But there we've got some fermenting juice there, so that's sort of interesting. But anyways, before I kill any of these worms here, we're going to try and clean that up and then put them back in. All right, guys. Have yourselves a great day. Take care.